suppose Vera, the big one is Aine coming back in. What can she bring to the squad now?
Aine could bring in a lot of experience. That is the key reason why we've asked her to be available for us. We have a few injuries. Megan Campbell, Kiva Kieran, they cannot play. They're both fullbacks. Sorry, in need, and obviously Aine can give the experience in the backup that we need there.
Can we ask the nature of Megan's injury? Because she's been for quite some time in City as well.
It is a nasty injury, but I'm not sure if I can give details about that for private reasons, of course.
Of course, yeah. How much of a loss is she?
It looks like that it will not be a short-term injury, unfortunately.
Can I ask you just about Tyler Toland, what you've made of her progress at Manchester City?
Yeah, Tyler went to Manchester City in the summer, and as you've all seen, she's not playing there. She played 15 minutes in the first squad until now. So unfortunately, her development did not go into the direction that she's still better than others. And the national team is about selecting the very best players. I'm not saying if she's not playing that she cannot be selected, but there's other players at this moment that bring more to the squad.
She's still only 18, so what do you think what would your advice to her to be regards to maybe trying to win a place at Manchester City?
She needs to play. And she needs to play at a decent level. But that's always the case with young players going to a big club, to a huge club, and she has world-class competition in her position. So it's very difficult for her. I can only say how Katie McCabe has dealt with it. When she went to Arsenal first, and she was on the bench, and she asked for a loan so that at least she could play, and by gaining experience, she came back, and you can see the star that she is now. So if there's any advice, then we need to have a discussion with Manchester City to see if we can get her playing somewhere.
With regard to Aine and I suppose other players that might be in the Women's National League, I know Colin Bell, the previous head coach, might be reluctant to select players that were playing domestically, and it wasn't because of their ability to play or their talent, more so just their strength and conditioning. You always felt that it was better to pick players at professional outfits or whatever. What's your own kind of feeling on that?
There's two sides. The principle is of course right. If you play at the highest level, then internationally in a professional league, you gain more from it than if you play at the domestic league here. On the other hand, all the players received individual programs, which gave them the lead up to this moment in which they are fit. We've tested all the players that are here in the last home base session, and the test results are very positive. So they have been able to catch up a lot. And on the other hand, if a player is going to a professional league and is not playing, that doesn't help the player either. So there's a bit of balance, and we need to have an individual approach, in my opinion.
With Aine's, what do you think she would bring to the squad now? Is it a case of just having her in the squad to lend that experience to the younger players, or do you think she can have an impact on the pitch itself?
Yes, and we would not bring her in if we would not have the idea that she could have an impact on the position as a fullback. A player like that you don't bring in to not have intentions with her, and we see if it turns out that she will play. But we've discussed it openly with her, and she is very happy to make herself available.
From the next two games, do you believe, obviously with Germany coming down the track after those two games, do you feel you need to get full points from these next two matches?
Yeah, well, we need the full points, we need 6 points. It's not that we will be out if we have a draw in one of these games, but it will make life very difficult for us.
We're told there's going to be, possibly maybe 4,000 people at the home game against Greece.
I hope more, because there's already 3,500 tickets sold, so yeah. I hope it will be a real sold out.
Do you feel maybe a good connection growing amongst the supporters with the players? Is that something you felt in the home matches so far?
Well, I've seen the Montenegro game and I've been involved in the Ukraine game. But talking to the players, they are so up for it and they're looking so forward to playing Telex Stadium again. They cannot wait to be in. So that's a very good sign, I think, because they are the ones that are the face of the team. And if they are so enthusiastic about it, that means that there's a very good connection between the fans and them, and I'm very happy with that.
Just to ask you regarding the goalkeeping coach as well, I know there were some former Irish goalkeepers, not necessarily international goalkeepers, but maybe were a little bit, I suppose, maybe complaining that they hadn't been considered for the role, and that maybe that an Irish coach should have been considered rather than a coach from a different country. Now, it's not a criticism of you, just wondering what your own thought.
You mean the
process.
goalkeeping coach position?
Yes.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, because you would think that that is an area that you want to have the coaches from the country. Like I've chosen for an assistant coach from the country. And usually coaches bring their own assistant. I never do that, and I've never done that. I've always taken the assistant from the country, exactly because of the reason what you said. The key thing though is that I was coming into a situation where the team was already in competition. Within 5 days of meeting with the squad, we had to play Ukraine with the next game straight after. And I needed somebody who can keep me sharp, because I knew that I had to select players from video and from advice, which I gained from anyone that could help us. But I needed somebody who understood how I would work, because within 5 days, if you need to get a team ready for the biggest game it's actually the biggest game of the group, the home game against Ukraine, then you need the support to not only explain to others and be in the same philosophy, but also somebody who can get me sharp in the choices that we make. And you cannot expect that from new people coming in and working with you in the first 3 days. And I must say that the decision to play Rihanna Jarrett in the Ukraine game has been immediately coming from that decision to bring in Jan-Willem van Aine. Because he's not just a goalkeeping coach, he's a licensed coach with a lot of experience in coaching internationally. He knows the international pressure and he has a huge experience in international competition, both on the men's side and the women's side, as you probably know, but you can ask him yourself later. So he said, he was looking on the side and he said, in my opinion, you need to give it a one more try, because you want this from your striker. Yeah, that's right. He said, I think she can do it with one more try. And so we ended up in the situation that we went for it completely and we would decide after that session. So Rihanna played and we've all seen the impact that she had. And that is what you get if somebody knows you so well that he can challenge you or she can challenge you. And in that first week, that was the key thing why I wanted to have him in the team. So it was not so much a goalkeeping coach, it was Jan-Willem that I needed.
What do you think of Rihanna's move to Brighton? Do you think it's a good move for her?
She has put all the pros and cons against. It's been a long process for her to decide. There were more options and she decided to go to Brighton. And what I understood is because she gets the time to get fit, she gets the support to get fit, and she gets the support with her background of 3 ACL ruptures in her career. So that means a different approach, a more individual approach. And that is what she found that she could get there. And that brought the choice, as she explained to me. So I fully support that, that's clear. Yeah.
Just on the Women's National League as well, obviously there was an expansion yesterday, 2 more teams out, and we obviously lost Kilkenny United as well, but Athlone Town brought in. There was talk as well when you were appointed there that maybe you weren't just going to be looking after the international team but helping grow the game around Ireland. So I just want to get your thoughts on that and maybe other things you might have been doing in the last couple of months while weren't looking after the international side.
Yeah. Apart from some appearances at coach conferences, which you've seen, I don't see that as I see that as a support to the development, but not a real impact in the development. What we are doing at this moment is that with the different stakeholders, we are analyzing the game and see where are the gaps, and we have made a structure to fill those gaps. And we're now in the phase of putting it all on paper and doing proposals to create a seamless pathway for every player in Ireland. And that is almost there already, but there's a few gaps where players get stuck. And as soon as you've got this pathway for every single player in Ireland, you can expand after. But first you need to put these structures in place. And that is based on the analysis what is already there. And from that we need to see where there's an overload of activities and where there's missing activities. And we're in the process with that, with all the professional staff members that we have within the association.
I suppose in the football side of things, we drew away in Athens there. What sort of improvements are you looking to make in Tallaght now in March?
Yeah, in Athens we had the problem that we had a lot of injuries and a lot of unavailable players due to college and university issues. So, to be honest, we had 6 players, just 6 different positions in the team, and there's no team that can handle that. No top women's team, no top men's team. There's no team that can really handle 6 different positions, 6 different players in positions. And I think that if you take that into consideration and you take a step back from the disappointment to lose the win in the 93rd minute, we actually have to be glad that we gained a point over there. We were better, but if you have so many changes, you get to the point that you don't score yourself. And then usually it comes behind you after. And to give you a little bit of insight in our discussions, when the players were changing, I said to my assistant, to Eileen, I'm more nervous now than I was before the Ukraine game. And the reason is that there's so many new players in that we will create the chances. All players will do everything they have and can to get the result, but we will not score. These are one of those games that you get in the 93rd minute a goal against, and that's exactly what happened. So you could also feel that it would be a difficult day, and we thought that we could get away with it, but at the end it was just that one moment, wasn't it?
And I suppose you've been in the job now around 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
How have you seen the team progress from when you started to now, in terms of when you came in, the quality that you saw? How have the team taken to your philosophy and your way of approaching football?
Yeah, it's a strange thing at this moment for national coaches. We have not developed the team. Players have developed in their clubs because we've not seen each other for 4 months. I've seen them 5 days before the Ukraine game. Before the Greece game it was 7 days, or the other way around, something like that. So that is what we've been doing, and the rest is gaining information, getting programs for the domestic players, getting programs for the talented players. We are busy with a few players to gain passports for them, so that might give some results. But really working with the team, you have no time. You don't get the players, so you're not developing a team. You're creating conditions for a team.
If you can ask you how you think the group stands now. You were originally very confident that Ireland could qualify as one of the best runners-up. You seem to concede that might be gone after the draw in Athens. How do you view it now?
Well, if you look at the other results in the other groups, it shows that it was a bit too optimistic to think that we could go through as one of the best seconds. Because the results in the other group show actually that even if we would have won in Greece, we would not become one of the best 3 seconds, as far as it looks now, because we're early in the competition. It's already a difficult path to go. So at the end, we've not lost anything with the draw in Greece. We have to win. We have no buffer anymore. That's probably the only loss that we have. But if we win at home, we win away against Montenegro, we've got the same starting position against Ukraine as we would have had if we would have won in Greece. Yeah.
And are you confident that we can secure second place? I mean, you would have seen all of the other teams now. How do you think we compare with those teams?
It will be very difficult away in Ukraine, but we must win home from Greece and away against in Montenegro. And that's a tough task in itself. We are confident that we can do that. We are confident that we have a very good squad. And we will do everything in the days that we have together to gain a result. We have only 3 days before we play them, only 3 sessions. So with the players that are not available, with the players that are available on the 28th already, we play against boys to get some better insight in the last decisions that we have to make. And then there are 7 players coming in on the 1st. Hopefully that they're all coming on the 1st. And then we play on the 5th. So also now it's just a matter of see what we have, getting the best balance on the pitch and making sure that everybody knows their tasks.
And sorry, can I bring you back to Aine O'Gorman? I'm sorry, I missed the very start of this, which I apologise for.
Right.
Can I just ask you how that came about, and did you approach her, or did she express a willingness?
No, we approached her because Anya had taken a step back from elite football, at least the time that she was investing in it because of her work commitments. But we have on both sides injuries, both Kiva Keenan and Megan Campbell are injured, so the approach came from me if she could be available for us.
Okay. And you were keen, like she was somebody, as you said, you really feel can contribute in the situation. Will she start the game? Is that your intention as things stand?
The intention is to see who is best there, but obviously what I said before, we would not bring her in if we do not have the intention to really find that out, whether she would be a starter. Yeah. You will see her tonight. She was not at the home-based sessions because she was not in the A squad, or not available for the A squad, but now she is, so tonight she's there at the home-based session also.
So that will be her first session back with the squad, yeah?
With the home-based session, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And we're very happy that she takes the risk to take this path for us. She's doing it for us, and we're very, very happy with that.